Good morning. It's not quite 2 o'clock yet, or not quite 9 AM Eastern time, but I just thought I'd start right away. So it's the 12th of September 2023, and I'm just going to recap my trading plan for today. On my screen is the MES S&P index futures. This is a 1 hour time frame. So first of all, we go to our economic calendar, and you can see we haven't got any major news today. Oil after market closes, but that's only 2 out of 3. I think tomorrow is going to be a big day, so quite a few things at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So I think market might be waiting for this for tomorrow. It's quite an important one, but today nothing real of importance. So just going over the daily chart, we can see that we've had a this big push down. We put in this higher low bottom and pulled up. We broke that area and we came back. We retested this area around here where we broke through it, almost retested it, and now we've broken up over through there. So the next key area on the daily to watch out for is the 50 moving average. We've not quite touched it yet. I've got close to it, and last time we went straight through it quite easily, and the previous time we came up to it we rejected it. So we are watching that, although we are putting in a series of higher highs, higher low, higher highs, higher lows. So where this goes is anyone's guess. So what outcomes are we looking at? Potentially we could be looking at a rejection off of this 50 again, and lo and behold, we've got this slightly jagged, slightly slanted head and shoulders pattern. It's not really going to be a head and shoulders pattern. Bodies need, yeah, so this was a strange looking one. If we come back down to here, then we could be looking at a head and shoulders pattern, but the right shoulder needs, we really want to see it pull back a little bit and put in a big pullback. So today I'm potentially watching for a bounce off of the 50 moving average, a rejection off of the 50, and hopefully a similar rejection we got like last time, and that maybe confirm the right hand shoulder, or I'm looking for a break and retest of this area as well, but with confirmation. So we have our daily, we have put in a uptrend on the daily now, so potentially we could be setting up for a pullback and a push up to this double top area here. So we'll see what we're coming, but we'll judge today as it comes. So the 50 moving average, and that area is 45.50 area, so that's an area to watch for. We're going down into the hourly now, so we can refine this a bit better. So 45.50 is this supply, this area here, which is pretty close to the 200 moving average as well, this purple line. So I'm just going to put a marker in 45.50, and that's a daily area, so make that yellow so I know that's an area, and so it's a 50 MA daily, just so I know what we're looking at. Let's put that on the right hand side, that's better so I can see it. Okay, so that's an area we can potentially watch out for on the hourly. If we move up, we've got the 200 moving average, which is basically going sideways at the moment but curving over. On the hourly, I've got a few zones marked up. An area I was watching today was this area. I was really watching it for a break and retest. If we were able to maintain this structure or this upward trending channel, but we can see it's now pulled down, came back up, retested that area. Potentially we're looking for a breakdown. So my thoughts on this has changed a bit since I last checked a few hours ago. A few hours ago we was up here and I was looking for a breakout and a push high, which I'm still watching for. but now I'm going to look for a break and retest off the hourly 50 moving average. So that would be a higher risk play. Let's just zoom in a bit. So high risk play, and this is at similar levels. I'll not change the levels. In fact, I think I made a slight adjustment to it. So we're watching 45.23, 45.24, 45.25 area for potential bounce off of this 50 or a break and retest. Possibly the bounce is happening right now. Next up will be another higher risk area, and it's an area of concentrated volume as well, which we've shown by this orange line, and this area is 45.31 to 45.29 area, so basically all around here, and we're watching for a potential rejection, and possibly it could be a break and retest of this lower channel trend line. So these are the two higher risk areas to watch for. Higher probability, I'm looking for a possible bounce off of 45.16, similar to what we discussed yesterday, for a move back up. And obviously if we sell off bigger than that, then potentially watching this area for another bounce as well. We've got this, if we do break down through this area here, we have got this lack of volume all around here. In fact, the lack of volume is that area here. Let's draw it properly. So all of this area really lacks major volume, so if we do break down, potentially we could see not much resistance and not much support as we're coming down through this area, but I think we could be watching 4500 for potential bounce, so that's the area to keep an eye on. Let's put that. It's a psychological number as well, so let's just put that in. And then obviously I've got a demand zone down here at 44.85. Well, it's basically 44.80 through to 44.90, this $10 zone. Excuse me a second. That's better. So this is kind of now I'm waiting for it to come back down into, and we'll be potentially putting in this double bottom. Preferably my entry will be around 44.85. So, and these are my bounce areas, and for rejections, other than the higher risk one we just discussed, so higher risk rejection here, higher probability but not to layer, and this is one with confirmation, and that's at 45.37, and then we've got this higher probability area on where we had that daily 50 moving average, and we also have the top end of this channel and this 200 moving average all around this area, so 45.45. If that number rings a bell, we discussed that yesterday, and this is an area potentially for rejection. And volume wise, we do have volume all the way up to that area, and then if we do break through, if we are really bullish, then the volume does drop out a bit here, so potentially coming up into this supply zone or this major supply zone, but likely getting there today is probably unlikely, so we're just concentrating on the lower numbers. So to confirm, I've got a higher probability rejection at 45.45. Let's write this down. 45.45, and we've got a higher probability bounce at 45.16 and 4500. They're the two I'm watching for, and then we've got a higher risk rejection area of 45.37, 45.31. I think that's it really for that area. Again, I'm trying to take all the trades, even the higher probability ones, with confirmation. And what I mean by confirmation is, in fact, yesterday, if I go into the 5 minute, it says 5 minute, yeah. So okay, so yesterday my confirmation on one of my trades was we had this neckline forming here with this head and shoulders pattern. So this confirmed, well, this was setting up for a bottom reversal, and then my entry was the break and retest. So that was my that was the one I had planned for yesterday, and it was based similar to this level we were watching. I've made a slight adjustment to it, 45.30. So that was a good play yesterday. So that's one of my best plays. I did get chopped up a little bit around these areas, trying to go long, and then stopping out. When I think I went long again here, and then sort of come back on myself and stopped to have a break. So it was a very small red day yesterday, and that's mainly because I got chopped around here. But that was my short, and I took that on the 2 minute with confirmation. A double topping tails I couldn't resist on the 5 minute, and the 2 minute set up perfect. I think I got in around about here, and I got out at the VWAP, and possibly when it came down to here, and I back out about here. So that was a good trade yesterday. In fact, it was a scalp, and I got out both before the VWAP. I remember doing it. So, and that's what I really want to look for confirmation as well. So rather than just taking the first rejection, wait for it, because this is what could happen, this typical head and shoulders pattern. Wait for it to set up and then use a break and retest. There wasn't really a break and retest here because it came through. There was no break and retest here. You might have got triggered in. I think I did get triggered in actually about there, and I got out break even as well. But this one here with a break and retest of this area was a perfect setup. Look at that, entry there, stop loss there, and didn't look back for the rest of the day. So that's confirmation, and that's what I'm looking for again today. So just to sum up the levels, going back into the hourly. So ideally I'm watching this demand area and this supply area. If we can't get there, then I'll take the higher probability, the riskier plays. This is a higher probability rejection at 45.45, higher probability bounce at 4500. So these are the higher probability. So I'll mark these red. In fact, I might do it every day, change the colours when I put my levels in. And so these are higher probability, the red ones, and then the yellow ones are the higher risk ones. So we've got this higher risk rejection here. We've got this higher risk, we talked about this a minute ago, break and retest of this level, which I'm going to be keeping an eye on shortly. And we've got this higher risk bounce area here, 45.16. So with my higher risk plays, I will only go in with a smaller size, but I'll be looking to get ads instead of, for example, if I was watching for this high probability area here, so I was watching for this shoulder and I wanted to get in, I would probably layer in because it's a known pattern, it's a good setup, it's coming out of a demand area as well. But because it's higher risk, instead of layering in, I will wait for confirmation. So confirmation would just be the break of that candle long. So, and that's how I'm going to play the riskier, scalpier moves. So trend, it's still in an hourly uptrend until we break probably this area here. So we can assume we're still in an uptrend and we're just getting a bit of a pullback here. In fact, this is the area. If we break down through this area, then this is just a small bear flag, which we've just seen on the hourly. Okay, so looking at SPY next. Same situation. We had this hourly reversal at the top, head and basically a small shoulder, and then the breakdown and the pullback to the area, and it came down, and then we're putting in an inverse head and shoulders here with the neckline, a rough neckline around this area, and then we're back in an uptrend, putting in, and then we will break this uptrend if we get through this 250 moving average. So potentially we've got a bounce area at 445.50. Is that our best place for it? 445.80, I think that's a better location. And probably I'd have a limit order waiting if we see it. If we see a tail come through, whip you into the order and then reverse. So that's a higher probability, but because it's got this natural support, but with confirmation, maybe not put the order in, just wait for the tail and then get in. higher probability will be this demand area, and higher probability will be this supply area for rejection, and probably exactly 451 to 450 is the area to watch for. And then these are scalp plays, so depending on what the market's doing, so break or retest or a rejection but with confirmation. And again here, break and retest short, and that's with confirmation as well, so it needs to actually break it, pull back, and then put in a reversal pattern. Qs, so basically similar levels to yesterday. Is there any fine adjustments to make? No, it's about the same. So watching 374 for a potential bounce, and that'll be bouncing close to the 50 moving average, and maybe the 200 may move into that area as well. So high probability but with confirmation. We've also got pivot there, so basically we've got tops of candles, bottoms of candles, more bottoms, tops, bottoms, so there's an area of confluence as well. And also you've got this stronger area of volume as well, congested volume. And we've broken through the point of control as well. We rejected it, we rejected it yesterday, that this is a point of control. So this candle here with this orange line is the point of control, and we tried to get through it, and there's just too many sellers sitting up here, and it's rejected it, which is kind of why I use this indicator, because it does point out potential areas of high congested volume and natural support and resistance. So if we get back up there, maybe we're looking for a short of 378, and again if we break this structure, our breaking point will be, for the change of trend, will probably be below 374 as well. So if we do break down below 374, come out, retest it, we may have a little bit of support from the 200 moving average, but we potentially could see a move down, probably down to the next level, which is 370.64. And Nasdaq is going to be similar to the Qs. It's a bigger sell-off as well. Look at that this morning. Coming up to the trend line, so, and also the 50 moving average, which is that red line. So we could see a bounce around this area, so a bounce about here, and that would also coincide with, I can't move it up, there we go, that's what I was trying to achieve. So that would coincide with this level there, which is around the 15.5, 15.600, 15.550, yeah, that area there. So 15,597, exactly where it is now. So we've got the tops of there, the tops of that candle. So tops of these candles here, potentially that bottom as well. Tops of these candles, then we broke through, pulled back. We rejected it, came back in, and possibly we could reject. We might just bounce from it again. So that's a potential area to watch for. And we've got the 50 moving average as well coming into play. Apart from that, rejection wise, is this concentrated area of volume again, and just so happens yesterday happens to be the area it rejected, that area just right smack bang where that concentrated volume is as well, congested area, and back down. So potentially we could be looking for another rejection of a 15,700, that area. Finally, oil, for the daily. So this is a play I've been waiting for, but I think it might be a bit too extended. I really wanted it to come back to here to go long, but we talked about this boxed area yesterday, and potentially we could be looking for a break and retest of this boxed area for it to achieve the next run up. So basically it's spent the last week just going sideways and just eating time off the clock, building up pressure before it breaks out again, and that's exactly what it did. And we talked about this in the last couple of videos. I've talked about it for the last few days. So in the hourly, see where we are. We're quite extended, so if we can pull back down to this area here, 87.80, then I will consider it as a potential long play. So that's an area I'm watching for. We're above all the moving averages, above the 200, the 50, the 20, and above the VWAP as well. So looking pretty strong. Oil is today. And what's natural gas? Natural gas as well is doing exactly the same. It's broken out, but doesn't look as strong as oil. But where we are on, let's have a look at the daily again and see where we are, what the next level could be. So we've got this hourly area here, which is 89.75, and a major daily area at 92. Let's make that daily so we know. 92.18, that's a daily area. You can see the pivots over here, and then we've got this hourly area, which is this, I love saying this, head and shoulders pattern. This is my favorite, one of my favorite patterns. Easy to see, and you literally can actually base your trades off of the shorting or going long on necklines, or the inverse head and shoulders pattern, which I've got one here. But as you can see, there was no confirmation, no breakout over that area. So again, I was watching this for some time. So I've always had my eyes on oil. So that's going back, what's that going back to? October last year. Where are we down here? So this is what I was watching originally, but I couldn't quite get the pattern out of it. I was thinking we were setting up a head and shoulders here, but it wasn't really. It was more of a treble, quadruple, or whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bottom play, and we broke out. And so that's it. That was kind of what I was watching back in June. Kind of this breakout area, and I missed the break and retest, but still it doesn't matter. There was plenty of opportunities to get back in, and probably still will be, and that's why I'm waiting. I really want it to come back down to this area if I can, and then try and get a decent swing trade or something similar. Anyway, that's it really. Hopefully you've had a good day yesterday, and hopefully today will be your better day trading as well. Thanks for watching. I'll go back to the MES just so we've got the levels up, and we see that coming down. So potentially I'm waiting for it now to get to 45.16, 45.18, that area for potential. So I've got an alarm set for 45.18. So look for a potential bounce. So look at that, that's a great breakdown. Okay, thanks for watching, and I will see some of you in the Discord server.